at goal 3, target 8, talking about universal coverage.
Yes. When last did you had your health check? It is mandatory for you to go for health checks.
Policemen, we are not politicians. We are professionals as far as security is concerned.
I know when I train you, you will also go out there as well. You can also train other persons.
Get registered and obtain your name from them. When you have issues, it's expected that you visit the office.
On the program we'll be dishing you out with so many loving moments.
The program, it's still new day and we are at the discussion segment. And today on the discussion segment, we will be discussing on flooding. We all know it's that time of the year. And today we have Angu Adamu, Executive Secretary, YMC, Mother Hills, also the coordinator on National State African Activist for Climate Justice Project. And we also have Mr. Angbashi Y. Ishaku, Director Climate Change, Ministry of Environment and Natural Resources. You're all welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thank you, ma.
And today, as always, we will be discussing on flooding because it's that time of the year where we all know flooding do occur. I'm going to start with you, Mr. Angbashi. The federal government has warned about an impending flooding across 30 states of the Federation. What level has the national state government prepared to avert the incoming disaster?
For national states, just the question you asked, NAMET, they are always giving us predictions. And every year, we in Nasarawa State, we do send our delegation, especially from the ministry, to go to the NAMET headquarters where they are revealing, especially at the NAF Conference Center, where they always unveil the seasonal climate predictions. And as our own part in the state, when we come back, our own is to sensitize people on the issue of impacts of the climate change, especially in the area of flood that is being done in the state. You find out that for our state, we are prone to erosion and flooding. Almost all the 13 local government is not just a few that are their own is minimal, but we have a very high level of flooding in Nasarawa State. And for Nasarawa State, just as I've said, we do carry our sensitization to people on its own part so that people should be very careful and also to stay away when it is time for flooding. We always, presently, you find out that there is a feasibility studies going around. Even we have committees that are set up, and these committees, they go around, especially to sensitize people on issue of flood and erosion. And also, they make provisions for people to move away from areas of flooding. We know that our people, most of the times you find out that they have a nonchalant attitude of moving away from the prone areas, flood areas. So we sensitize them so that not to lose their lives in the course of staying where they are. When it is flooding, they have to stay away. And we also have some early warning system that has been installed in some local governments just to give a warning sign when flood is coming. So for the state, apart from all these things, where flood occur, they also carry assistance to all those areas. Make sure they evacuate them and they give assistance to the victims that are affected. So there is a lot of things that the state is being carried out in the area of flooding.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Agbashi. Back to you, Mr. Adamu.
Yeah.
So what are some of the main causes of this flooding?
Well, as an NGO and a climate change activist, That is part of the reasons why we are here to save lives by advising people. Flooding is an annual, just like you mentioned, it's annual natural disaster that comes as a result of excess water surging from heavy downpour of rain, maybe 8 or and above hours non-stop. So it must not necessarily be coastal or riverine areas. Even on surface land, where you see heavy cloud and there is too much rain non-stop, where drainages are blocked, where there are indiscriminate buildings around canals and waterways. Of course, water will always find its way. Though there are human activities that contribute, that help people to be at risk, but naturally, flooding is a natural occurrence arising from effect of climate change.
Okay, so sorry, I'm still giving this question back to you. What are the types of flooding that usually occur here in Nasarawa State?
Well, there are riverine flooding for local government like Awe, Nasarawa, Toto, and Doma. They are around River Benue side. Those ones experience what we call riverine flooding. Then there's what we call flash flooding that can occur anywhere, provided there is heavy rainfall for so many hours non-stop, where blockages, where there are no passages, water to pass through. Flash flood can occur anywhere, and this is the one that we are most afraid of. Because you must not be in a riverine area, you must not live in a coastal area before it happens. So this is what happens, and we are afraid as an NGO. We want to enlighten people. Once they see this kind of thing, they should be prepared that rain is falling for 8 and above hours non-stop. Then, so these are some of the types of flood that can occur, but we are particularly concerned about the flash flooding that can happen anywhere, anytime. And especially this month that we are now.
August.
Yeah.
Which is mostly the raining.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Angbashi, can you tell us how many local governments have been identified to be affected by this flood?
Just as I've said before, almost all the local governments, but the one that are severely prone, they are up to 10. You have Awe, you have Doma, you have Lafia, you have Kefi, Kwanga, you have Toto, you have Nasarawa, you have Karo, and you have those that are not severely, you have maybe Kokona, and you have Nasarawa Ego. Yeah, no, it's not so severe. But other local governments, especially Wamba and others, they are severely prone to erosions.
Okay, so how can we avoid this natural phenomena from reoccurring?
Just as my brother has mentioned before, there are a lot of things we can avoid, and people need to take actions, because some of them, it is our anthropogenic activities, the activities that people carry out that mostly lead to this issue of flooding. And we have some activities that we can curtail or control so that we reduce this flooding. One, you have issue of distillation of our gutters or drainages. We need to keep them clean. People are fond of throwing dirty, throwing trash in the gutters. And once the gutters are filled up, water must always find its way, just as he has said. And when water finds its way, erosion occurs, destroying houses, destroying people's lives, destroying crops. But when we have gutters that are clean, channels are being constructed, and water has its free flow, it reduces the rate of flood. And the same thing also, when we cut down trees, we expose the land. To, when you expose the land, you find out that each of deforestation, it leads to flood. because there is no longer roots of plants to hold the soil together. The soil can easily be washed away and lead to flood and erosion. And you have the people that live around the riverine area. That is the we talk about the flooding there. Those people, you find out that they live around the riverine area and they carry out their activities there. Once the water is filled up, you find out that it leads to flood, washing away people crops, washing away their houses, and even carry human beings and animals away. So you find out that all these activities that we carry out, it affects, increases the rate of flood. So people are being advised to reduce these activities that leads to flood and erosion.
So in all of this, we humans should always take note, because at times we are the cause of all.
Yes, we are the cause of our problems. So you will say government. Yeah, you yourself, you are the government of yourself, and you are the cause of your problem.
Exactly. So, Mr. Adamu, can you speak more on the role of African activists for climate justice in this campaign?
African Activists for Climate Justice AACJ project is a project that is implemented in 8 African countries.
Okay.
And it is supported by Ministry of External Affairs Netherlands through Oxfam in Nigeria. And what we do is, to create awareness on effect of climate change. And one of the effects of climate change is flooding.
Exactly.
So we are worried that if people are not enlightened, a lot of means of livelihood will be lost. So one of the activities we are carrying out, especially this months of rainy season, is to enlighten people on flooding. We've done a lot of media programs. We've done a lot of capacity buildings. We have established, as he mentioned, a forestation project in all the 13 local governments. We've established community nurseries to help people plant trees so that they can reduce the effect of climate change. So climate change is a scientific thing. There must always be continuous education and awareness creation. It is not something that will stop tomorrow or next. So there is need for enlightenment. There is need for continuous education. How I wish, if I were in position, to include climate change into schools' curriculum. We have organized climate change drama in all the 3 senatorial zones of the state. We have also staged drama in all the 3 senatorial districts of the state, to create awareness. We've done capacity building for the media to help us report on climate change issues. So as an activist, African activists actively supporting these projects to help people stay alive. Yeah.
Okay, so if there are any flooding cases in the states, what are the channels of reporting such cases?
Well, how I wish if the DG Nasema was here. That question was reserved for him. Unfortunately, he will be joining us in the radio version.
Okay.
Because they are the state or federal agency that is responsible for prevention of flooding. And now they are also responsible for providing relief and sensitizing people. So we wanted the government to also help us, tell us what if there is flood in a community, how is the reporting channel like, where should the farmer run to from the grassroots to the local government to the state. So I'm not in a position to give you a correct answer on this. Maybe Angbashi may do that.
Exactly.
Or
That's
Nasema.
what I want to just push the question that I need to see if you can continue from.
Yes, seriously, for the state, there's a channel of communication, especially from the grassroots to local government to state. Find out that from the grassroots, where it occurs, the first point of call is supposed to be their community leaders. You need to inform them about what is happening within their community. From the community leaders, they need to report such cases to the local government. Then from the local government, now report to state. So if they want to make a direct report to the state, but they need to copy all these people so that let them be aware. So from the grassroots to the community leaders to local government, and from the local government to the state. And in the state, where do they report to?
Exactly.
So you have Ministry of Environment, they can report such things to them. We have Nasema, just as you have mentioned, you report it to them. And also we have the humanitarian services, women affairs and humanitarian services. They can also report it to them, because these are the tripartite MDAs that form the committee for flood and erosion. And when you report to any of them, action will be taken. So most of the times when you don't report, you find out the issue of assistance or issue of going to those areas will not occur. I know recently my Honorable Commissioner, Princess Margaret Itake Elayo, she pays a visit to Kiana where there was problem of flooding. She paid visit to some of the parts of Doma and Lafia here, just to assess the level of destruction that occur. So she with her team, they took a visit to all those places. So it was a report that was brought, and she took it upon herself to even go there by herself with her team to make assessment.
Okay, that's a very good one. Are there any plans, or maybe do I say places, that people who are affected or would be affected moved to?
Yes, that's issue of preparedness against flood and erosion. People are being sensitized. They show areas where they build upland or schools where they can move to. And we don't have so much IDP camps here, but we have some few places that have been designated, especially for those that are prone to erosion, those communities that are prone to erosion. So when it happens, they either move to the schools or they move away to a high land area where they will not be affected by the flood. But our sensitization is always that people should move away before the flood can even occur.
Okay, so talking about sensitization, is there any massive plans for you, like for the people, for you to sensitize the people? Is there any? Do you have any plans to do that?
Yes, not having plans. The sensitization is on.
Okay, it's going on right
yes,
now.
And if you are being here is part of the sensitization, so people need to be aware.
Exactly. All right, thank you. That was a very wonderful one. Talking about flooding here in Nasarawa State, and we've been discussing with Mr. Angbashi Y. Isiaku, Director of Climate Change, Ministry of Environment and Natural Resources, and also Mr. Adangu Adamu, the Executive Secretary, YMCA, Mother Hills. Also the Coordinator, Nasarawa State African Activist for Climate Justice Project, supported by Oxfam in Africa. Once again, thank you for coming, and we hope when next we come, you would oblige.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, viewer, and I think that is the size of today's package on the program New Day. I hope you enjoyed every bit of it, and it's Monday. It's just a beginning of the week. I remain Hadiza Ilyasu, saying bye-bye.
When you look at Goal 3, Target 8, talking about universal coverage.
When last did you had your health check? It is mandatory for you to go for health checks.
Policemen, we are not politicians. We are professionals as far as the security is concerned.
I know when I train you, you will also go out there. As well, you can also train other person.
Get registered and obtain your name from them. When you have issue, it's expected that you visit the office.
On the program New Day, we'll be dishing you out with so many lovely moments